Hello guys, and these are my thoughts of being on Booktube for about a week. I definitely have learned some things, experienced some things, happy about some things, and I could just go on about life. Let's get down to it. Number 1, you do not need a ton of books to be a booktuber. I like paper books, which is, well, I like the feel of physical books and copies of books because I am a little bit of a traditionalist in that aspect. I mean, I do have a Kindle and I do read online, and that's not a problem, but for me, I normally like to crawl up and to read a good book. Tends to be a physical copy, but you don't necessarily have to have a ton of physical copies to be a booktuber. First of all, second of all, we are in a pandemic, so you can't really go to the library or any physical places for some often. Like, some places are still like fully shut down, so which is totally understandable. So ebooks are a great second possibility. You don't need a library. You don't need a library in your house for you to review basically a library on your channel. Number 2, don't worry about being PF, so public friendly. I am very alternative. Well, not necessarily very alternative enough that I know for a fact not everybody's going to like me. I am definitely okay with it. I don't expect everybody to like me. I am an acquired taste, but honestly, when you're starting off your channel, you kind of have like that fear that people won't like you, but just keep at it. Don't worry. Not everybody's for everybody, but the people who are for you will definitely find you eventually at some point in the time. But they can't find you if you don't continue content. So keep going. Review. You are not always going to review a book that you actually like. That is perfectly okay. For example, The Tomb by S.A. Bowden, I do not like. I tried. I really did. But I can't, so I won't. I did not realize how big the YA hold is into the booktube. It is. It is humongous. Honestly, I was trying to find a sci-fi novel that I wanted to review, and all I see is a lot of fantasy. Lots and lots and lots of fantasy, which is, again, understandable and totally everybody's like cup of tea for the most part. But personally, I like going into other genres, not just YA ones, and I kind of got sucked into it when I started buying books, because the cheap ones are the ones that are not. Ones are the ones that are the YA ones, and they're the most promoted. So we're definitely going to have to stretch out there and not just see whatever's on your recommended page for Google or Goodreads. Goodreads promotes a lot of YA, and I'm just like, okay, that's fine, but it's mostly fantasy genre, and I'm like, Number 4, make a schedule that works for you. You do not have to post almost every other day on YouTube for your book channel to grow. You can do it once a week. That is perfectly acceptable and okay, as long as the content is okay or good or decent. I'm not sure how this works. Honestly, I just keep posting content and be like, you'll either like it or not. I'm getting better at editing though. I have admitted that. Number 5, local bookstores and libraries are your friends. Honestly, the amount of books that I buy on a daily basis is a little crazy, which is why I have 2 jobs. The amount of books that I will consume, like consumerism and booktube is immensely a problem at some points in times, because then you have all these books that you've bought and that you have on your shelves and not necessarily are going to read again. Honestly, I have that problem, but also I'll donate them to a library. I have no problems with doing that. Or most of the local shops that are around me have a trade-in. So when I'm done with a book that I feel like I'm not going to read again, and I know for a fact that I'm not going to read again, I'll just take those books with me, and then I'll trade them in and then get store credit, and then use that store credit towards other books that I may or may not want. And then it also helps because then someone else is going to buy that used book for a slightly cheaper price, but still are going to enjoy it as much as you did. Or did not. Who knows? Number 6. Booktube and Authortube tend to combine, which is wonderful in a sense, because then you can get new books from Authortube and they're not necessarily the books that you always would find on Goodreads, and when you do find them, they're amazing, and then you want to read them and reread them and then promote them on your channel, which is great, which is the reason why Booktube and Authortube tend to combine. But honestly, you're going to see a lot of it in the month of November. NaNoWriMo comes around and everything explodes. It's a lot of writing sprints, reading sprints, a lot of combining of collabs, which is perfectly wonderful. And the content in Booktube definitely just skyrockets like 6 more times. Number 7. You are not for everyone. That is like a hard hitter, and I understand I kind of reached this around number 2, but you aren't going to be for everyone, and again, that is a-okay. I like to read at night, or most of my schedule tends to go towards the nighttime when I'm trying to film, towards the afternoon, late afternoon, and when I do this, it kind of makes the lighting situation a little more difficult, but at the same time, my way I talk, the way I review, the way that I do a 7 scale, I do a scale from 1 to 7 instead of 1 to 5. I like Goodreads, but I use that as a bare minimum recommendation. And I feel like a lot of people are gonna hate on me about that, but at the same time, I'm just like, my thoughts are, there will always be websites suggesting books, but when it comes down to actually choosing them, it's up to you to do so. I'm not hating on Goodreads, it's just I don't use it as my Bible. Goodreads is not my Bible. I'm sorry. I don't know what else you want me to say. Number 8. Make sure when you're reviewing, you are perfectly comfortable where you are. I honestly review sitting down more often than anything else because I'm comfortable sitting down. I have a reading pad that I got from Target for like $18. It was on clearance. It's wonderful. It's comfortable. I get to lounge and lie around. I mean, I would just do this video lounging Europe or Rome. No, yeah, just Rome. Like lounging on a chaise, but unfortunately, if I do that, I might get like demonetized or blocked again because it looks apparently provocative. I don't understand that, but okay. I mean, I do, but I don't. And basically have to get like a big humongous chair to do that. So that's what I've learned being on Booktube for about a week. I hope that you enjoyed this content. I hope that you subscribe, and I hope that you're enjoying the rest of your day. Bye!